Greetings, everyone. I'm Addison Pollock, Director of Community Engagement with AARP Indiana. I want to welcome you to our web series called This Is In, where we talk about all things local community outreach, local advocacy, talking with our volunteer team leaders and volunteers in our target communities. So today I'm joined by Vicki Small, who is the Executive Council member representing the Evansville area. So Vicki, nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Great. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. So Vicki, before we dive into just some updates on what you're all up to down in the Evansville area, I know you had a volunteer team meeting today and you all are busy. So just wanted to kind of introduce you to our audience. How long have you been a volunteer, and maybe explain why you volunteer with AARP?
I joined AARP as a volunteer in 2017, and I continue to volunteer because there's a broad range of things that I can do. I can be as active as I want in events that really make a difference for individuals. And I also am a member of the legislative team. I'm kind of a political junkie, so I get the opportunity to understand what's going on in Indianapolis and meet and talk with our legislators about laws that are being discussed that affect those of us who are 50 and older. And I just really enjoy the broad spectrum of activities that are available to me through AARP.
Yeah, 100%. There's not a dull moment. We work on so many different issues all the time, and a lot of our priorities can be rather broad and touch a lot of different aspects of life. So thanks for sharing that with us. Speaking of our priorities, our 2025 priorities, as some folks out there may know, they really haven't changed much over the years, but the first is to support family caregivers, make sure that folks who are caregiving have the information and resources they need to make that caregiving journey easier on them, easier on the person they're caring for, and make sure that they don't really need to stress too much about it, even though it is can be such a stressful job. And we also like to provide those respite opportunities for caregivers as well. We're also working on fraud prevention, making sure that folks, Hoosiers 50 plus, their families are not scammed, do not fall victim to fraud. And then last but not least, promoting our livable communities agenda, making sure that we have housing and transportation that's accessible, making sure we have options so that people of all ages at every stage of life can get around and enjoy the social and economic aspects of their life and the civic aspects of their local life. So with that, Vicki, I know we have some really cool opportunities coming up, particularly with the livable communities work that we're doing. Can you tell us more about the Home Fit workshop we have coming up?
Yes, we have a Home Fit workshop coming up in February with SWRCA, the Southwestern Indiana Regional Council for Aging. And Home Fit, I don't know how many users know, but it's really an opportunity for us to educate people on very small things and sometimes large things that they can do so they can stay in their home as long as they choose to. So it's a very popular program. We love doing it. And we're trying to broaden our presentations. We're working with an organization called House, which is a coalition of both government and not-for-profits and for-profits who are looking at what we can do to provide affordable housing in Evansville. And through that, we've developed relationships with another number of groups who are working in that space. And what we found is that there are a lot of groups helping, but the normal citizen has no idea who to go to for an issue. So we're working with them, and as we do our Home Fit presentation, to really educate the community about what's available and what assistance is available, because it's just very important.
For sure. And I know that that House Coalition has been really key to us in our housing advocacy down in the Evansville area. I know that it's just such a great forum for partners to come together. And I think that the Home Fit work that we promote is we're kind of filling a void. I mean, we're not going out necessarily and like providing like ramps and physically installing them, though there are organizations that we work with, such as
Right.
like Community One, where there are volunteer opportunities to do that. So I think we're kind of filling a void, an information gap, as to sharing like what you can do to your house to make it livable at every stage of life. So that's something that I really appreciate, and I love just the work that we're doing around the Affordable Housing Trust Fund and all that good stuff,
Mhm.
making it more user friendly, if you will. So you all are doing great work. Really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you.
Uh, the other priority that I wanted to touch on today, we have some things that we're kind of in the planning stage on for our fraud prevention work. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. One of the things that we've heard as we do some tabling, especially with elderly groups, is their concern about fraud. And every day there's something new that we have to be aware of. So we are planning in the fall an event where we will do an education session. We're planning on partnering with some community folks and to really help people understand steps that they can take to protect themselves. Kind of along with that, we for many years have been the people who pick up your shreddables out of your car and put them in the bin. So twice a year around tax time, this year will be in May, and then again later in the fall, we work with the city and one of the shredding companies and allow people who live in the county, in Vanderburgh County, to bring items that need to be shredded before they're disposed so that they can be safe as they dispose of their documents.
Definitely. That's such a great service that the county offers, being able to just roll through Wesselman Woods and just pull up, and then you're greeted by all these red shirts who can take your boxes and safely deposit them in a shredding bin. So that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to our event that we're planning in the fall. We're hoping for a big turnout there and
Right.
some really great community partners to come out and talk about ways you can prevent falling victim to frauds and scams, protect you and your family. Vicki, is there anything else you want to share today with the audience? I know we're kind of in planning mode right now, but I know we're going to have some really great things to share in the next couple episodes.
I think those are the key things for today.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining, and thanks for sharing a little bit more about why you volunteer. And hopefully next time we can bring on maybe another volunteer from the team,
That'd be great.
and yeah, let them talk about what they've been up to in community. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on This Is In.